Arsenal 0, Chelsea 2. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to another match review. This is Arsenal 0, Chelsea 2. Chelsea have beat Arsenal away at the Emirates Stadium. We have finally beaten Arsenal after all of that time not beating them. They were our kryptonite. Finally, we have beaten them courtesy of goals from none other than Romelu Lukaku and Reece James. So what an exciting time to be a Chelsea fan. Honestly, we're going to get into the entire match and what went down. But before we do that, I got to ask you guys, please like this video, subscribe to my channel. Honestly, we're approaching 10K. Really exciting. I'm going to keep saying this until we reach 10K. And thank you guys for your support. Without further ado, let's get into the video. First off, let's take a look at that starting 11. So Reece James effectively came in for Chalobah, with Azpilicueta taking over that right center back spot and Reece James taking over the right wing back spot. I thought that Chalobah might start this game since he had an incredible performance against Crystal Palace opening weekend, but I can understand relying on the experience of Azpilicueta, and that definitely came in handy in this game. We also saw Romelu Lukaku make his second debut for Chelsea 10 years later, and what a game he had, what a difference he made, and we're gonna get into all of that. In the first 15 or so minutes of the game, I actually thought that Arsenal started off really well. They were closing down the space. They weren't giving Chelsea a lot of time on the ball, and I thought, here we go again. This is going to be yet another story of how Arsenal put in their performance of the season against Chelsea. But then Chelsea get a goal courtesy of Romelu Lukaku, and it was a brilliant pass by Kovacic to pick out Reece James, and then finally somebody getting on the end of one of Reece James's crosses. The thing that I really like about Lukaku is that he's making those runs that we have been begging our strikers to make for the past year or so, that nobody makes runs in the 6-yard box, and he did that and we got a goal. Just a classic goal from Lukaku. Reece James to Lukaku connection, we're gonna see that a lot more this season. Honestly, I'm like, should I be transferring both of these players into my fantasy team, because I just feel like that connection is going to be really, really special. So 1-0 to Chelsea. After the goal, I think that Chelsea really settled down, controlled the game, had a lot of possession, a lot of the ball, and then Chelsea get a second courtesy of none other than Reece James. It was a really good ball from Alonso. Lukaku noticed this and let it go past him, kind of making like a dummy so that Mason Mount could get the ball, and then he assisted Reece James. A lot of people complain that Mason Mount does not get enough assists. Well, he got one today, and Reece James just with an absolute rocket into the back of the net, like insane. He doesn't score that often, but when he does, they're just ridiculous goals, and I have a feeling we're going to see a lot more goals from Reece James this season. So at this point, I really felt comfortable. Arsenal tried to get back into the game. They had a couple of good chances. At times I felt like they were slicing through our midfielder, putting balls over that just took out our team. Conte was brought on to help with this, but in the end, I think that Chelsea defended really well. Massive credit to Azpilicueta. I was saying it time and time again while watching the game. He is one of the best one-on-one defenders. He just has a sixth sense for where the ball is going to go and where he needs to be. Even though he's a little bit slower now that he's older, he's still an incredible defender, and he saved Chelsea time and time again in this game. It might have gone a little unnoticed, but I noticed it, Aspie. I noticed it. And honestly, in this game, I felt that Chelsea could have scored 3 or maybe even 4 goals. Lukaku had a really amazing header at goal, and Leno just got a palm to it. It was a really brilliant save, but I thought that that was Chelsea's 3rd goal, 2 for Lukaku. I felt that we could have scored more. We had 22 shots, scored the 2, but at the end of the day, a win's a win. Chelsea have a very comfortable win against an Arsenal side who's yet to score a goal so far in the Premier League this season. So it just feels really great to be a Chelsea fan. Looking at some man of the match contenders, I always try to have 4 to stay consistent, but I feel like there were really 2 big standouts in this game. So if I want to give a nod to some players, I think Azpilicueta deserves a nod. I think Kai Havertz played fairly well, and I thought Mason Mount played fairly well. Obviously, I felt the team as a whole played well, but the two contenders that I have for man of the match this week, the two standout performances were from, of course, Lukaku and Reece James. Reece with a goal and assist, and Lukaku with a goal, but he also had incredible hold-up play. He really brought everything to Chelsea that we've been missing. He was a focal point for this team. He was able to hold the ball, which allows the players to run into space. He had 4 players on him at one point, so that creates space elsewhere on the pitch as well. Not only that, he can drop back deeper. He was using his strength to get the ball, to hold Arsenal players back. He just completely bullied them, and then he was making really good runs as well. So I was so impressed with Lukaku, and we have to remember he has had less than a week with Chelsea. He's barely trained under Thomas Tuchel. He hasn't had that much time with the team either. This is only going to improve. This is just the start, and he's already so good. I really believe he's going to get 20 goals plus for Chelsea this season. So my man of the match has to go to Romelu Lukaku, but it was a good team performance. So that's 2 wins in 2 games for Chelsea, off to a really great start this Premier League season. Chelsea's next game is away at Anfield, and we get into a really nasty run of games, but if we can get wins in these games, we're going to be in such a good position, and I honestly feel that we can do it. But playing Liverpool is going to be a real test for everybody. It's going to be a real contest between both of these teams, because I think both are Premier League title contenders. So guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video as much as you enjoyed that Chelsea win over Arsenal. As always, London is blue, in case you didn't know, and thanks so much for taking the time to watch. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all of that jazz, and until next time, I'm out.